Hello everyone and welcome to Games, Comics and Crafts.
In this video, I'll be looking at a facsimile edition of Swamp Thing issue 37. Yes, so this is the facsimile edition of Swamp Thing 37, which I believe from 1982. Um, Interesting enough, we've obviously now got a 17 plus page in it. There's nothing in this book about that needs to be 17 plus. This. I know we had mature readers for Swamp Thing for a little while, and obviously it then went to Vertigo. I don't know if there's anything in it really that really needs to be done. It's kind of like mildly horror, but it's not. I see books out there that are not certified and everything else. They're getting away with much more than this. Anyway, so I'm a big Swamp Thing fan. I started collecting it when Vertigo took over Swamp Thing. I've managed to pick up a few back issues before then. I managed to pick up the first two Alan Moore trades, and then they did the Bronze Age Omnibus, which I've got. And I was hoping they were going to follow up the Bronze Age Omnibus with the rest of the series, but they never did. They did the Absolute editions for the Alan Moore stuff, but they were recoloured, so I didn't get those. So I've never read this issue, which is the first appearance of John Constantine. Um, so this was good. Um, Again, sophisticated suspense on the cover. This is good comics. This is brilliant. I mean, for something, not a lot happens, but the actual issue kind of goes away, goes along at a fair old pace, and you actually are drawn in. I love this. I think it's really, really good. So now this makes me want to go and buy back issues of Swamp Saga, the Swamp Thing, and Swamp Thing, to kind of fill in the gaps, which again I think is going to be expensive for first appearance of Swamp Thing and first appearance of John. But or wait for the hopefully DC Finest Epic collection, DC Finest style Epic collections. Um, well, no, DC Finest style, the Epic Collection style DC Finest. There we go, get it right around. Um, and then hopefully they're going to collect Swamp Thing, because this is a series that needs to be collected. I mean, we've got Plastic Man and the original Blue Beetle being collected. Swamp Thing should be there, man. Along with Firestorm, in my opinion, because I love Firestorm as well. Get Firestorm and DC Finest. Anyway, so that's enough rambling. Let's start off with what we got. So, um, Swamp Thing apparently has died, and Abby's there, and Swamp Thing has kind of managed to regrow as this little sprouty kind of thing. Um, this mysterious person called John is wandering around, and he's kind of like talking to Judith. He's going around the kind of the America to find out his contacts about something big is coming. Something is going to be a problem. And she says it's some kind of weird uh thing, nightmare. I don't know. Anyway, but basically, most of the issue is just Swamp Thing kind of regrowing back to full size. So Abby discovers this little bud. John goes and sees this guy, and he says, "Oh, it's Cthulhu. Cthulhu's coming back." It's like, right, okay. And then Abby's back increasing the bud, and it's like, oh, it's like she keeps spraying pesticides, and Swamp Thing's going, "Don't do pesticides." She could go, "Oh, he's got this little hole. Something must have buried into it." No, he's grown a mouth, so he can talk to her and basically say, "Stop spraying with me because it's not very good." Um, then John goes off to see this nun, and the nun says, "It's the devil's coming back." It's like, okay. So eventually, Swamp Thing manages to grow a little face, uh, and they're just basically talking over stuff and whatever, and he kind of explains that he didn't realize he could come back, and he was poisoned by the thing that killed him. Again, I don't know what killed him, so it's interesting because this is all the stuff I've read. This doesn't cover this. Um, and then this lassie is doing all these sketches, and she's kind of like, something weird going on. I keep having these nightmares, this thing with this kind of twisted head, whatever. And Swamp Thing's explaining that he's restoring stuff and what it's become and all this kind of whatever. And this is obviously after the anatomy lesson stuff. So Swamp Thing learned that he wasn't Alec Holland. He had the memories of Alec Holland because Alec Holland died in the swamp. Anyway, a lot of stuff well worth. If you've not read the Alan Moore Swamp Thing stuff, read it. Or wait for the DC Finest when it comes along. Um, anyway, John shows up and basically says, "I know what you are. You don't know nothing. You're kind of just learning. You ain't really quite got the idea. You're an Earth elemental, but you've got no powers. You don't really know what's going on. So you didn't even think to regrow yourself. You said you can have instant travel. you could destroy your body at this place and just regrow it anywhere on the planet instantly, and you could travel anywhere. So you didn't even figure that out. You're an idiot. And basically he says, I'm going around looking for all this kind of stuff. I'm going to need you to do something, but you're going to have to come and find me. So once I get to wherever it is, come and look for me. And all these people are starting having their kind of like realizing that something bad's happening, and she's the lassie did the painting sees this thing through the back through this door, and it turns out it's this kind of weird twisted man, which I assume is Anton Arcane, but I could be wrong. It looks very much like Anton Arcane, and everyone starts having fits and all this kind of stuff, and the nun is twisted this toy's head off because the guy's got a bit twisted around his neck and all this kind of gubbins. Um, but yeah, so she's chased out. He has a seizure. It's because all of them are kind of reacting to this thing kind of reappearing back in the world, and John is there basically to fight it. She throws herself out a window and dies. Everyone kind of gets over it, and then the drawing that she was doing originally disappeared off the stand, and now it's back on there. Is it something she's created? Is it something she just managed to manifest? I don't know. But she's like talking. Oh, no, maybe we can go and spend some time together. It's like, oh, and he's completely distracted by what's going on with John and all this kind of stuff. Um, but yeah, this was really good. This it was just so nice to read a good comic. I mean, Alan Moore. I think pretty much anything I've read for Alan Moore comic book wise, I've enjoyed. And I actively seek out stuff I haven't read for him if I can find it. I really want to read the Supreme series he did. But reading a good old Swamp Thing that I've never read before just feels such a treat. It's so good. Um, but yeah, so this was definitely worth picking up. And now it just makes me want to, yeah, like I say, it makes me want to buy more old Swamp Thing stuff. So yeah, so if you're interested at all in seeing how good DC was back in the 80s, and good Alan Moore stuff, horror stuff, well worth a look. Seek out those Alan Moore trades if it's interesting to you. I think they're Black Label now rather than Vertigo. But yeah, this was a good book, well worth picking up. Almost didn't bother because I thought, where's a reprint? But I'm really, really glad I did. So there you go. Anyway, that's enough rambling for now. So hopefully I will see you on another video very, very soon. Thanks very much. Bye bye.